Long time no see. Okay, lacrosse, considered to be America's first sport, was born of the North American Indian, christened by the French, and adapted and raised by the Canadians. Modern lacrosse has been embraced by athletes and enthusiasts of the United States and British Commonwealth for over a century. The sport of lacrosse is a combination of basketball, soccer, and hockey. Anyone can play, the big or the small, so any of you can play. The game requires and rewards coordination and agility, not brawn. It is an exhilarating sport, fast-paced and full of action. Long sprints up and down the field with abrupt starts and stops. Precision passes and dodges are routine in men's and women's lacrosse. It's played with a stick, the crosse, which must be mastered by a player who can throw, catch, and scoop up the ball. Lacrosse is considered to be one of the fastest growing team sports in the United States. In the last decade, the number of high school and youth teams has increased by 65%, and the number of college and club teams has risen by 62%, which is a big feat for the sport. There is a growing interest in the game among countries around the world, which have never before been involved. Lacrosse has become a national sport with more than 200,000 active players. I'm waiting for the day when it becomes an Olympic sport. Men's and women's lacrosse were played under virtually the same rules with no protective equipment until the mid-1930s. Men's lacrosse began evolving dramatically, while women's lacrosse continued to remain true to the game's original rules. Men's and women's lacrosse remain derivations of the same game today, but are played under very different rules. Women's rules limit stick contact, prohibit body contact, and require little protective equipment, like those little goggles that you always see girls playing with that are really annoying. Men's lacrosse rules allow some degree of stick and body contact, although violence is prohibited. Lacrosse is sometimes perceived to be a violent and dangerous game. However, injury statistics prove otherwise. While serious injuries can occur in lacrosse, the game has evolved with an emphasis on safety, and the rate of injury is comparatively low to that of soccer or football. Lacrosse has also had a big impact in my life. I started playing when I was 8 because my older sister started playing when she was 14, and I wanted to be just like her. I played defense in high school, but played midfield up until then. My coach didn't have enough defenders, and he said, "Hey, you look like a good defender, you can go play," and fell in love with it. When I first started, there were maybe 4 teams in the league that I was in. I had to play on a 10 and 11-year-old team because there weren't any teams in my grade level. It was great competition for me. I loved traveling, and that had a lot to do with lacrosse for me back then. I traveled to the East Coast many times for tournaments and camps, and I've made lifelong friends with my teammates. I loved it so much, I wanted to play Division I for the Ohio State University. After my junior year of high school and seeing how many girls came back to Colorado after playing Division I changed my mind. It is a big part of who I am. It grew nationally and grew in me. Everyone should try playing lacrosse.